This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Healthcare showdown. The vote to overhaul the U.S. health insurance system is set up for a second battle. While it's expected to be a harder sell in the Senate, and if it passes, how it will impact you. Plus, 4 local children safe this morning after their home caught on fire. How a stranger is responsible for saving their life. Good Friday morning to you, and thank you for watching KVUE News Daybreak at 4:30. I'm Yvonne Nava. Let's get a look at what we're tracking this weekend and today with Storm Team Meteorologist Erica Lopez. Sorry, my mind already set on the weekend.
Hey, I don't blame you. The good news is we have perfect weather for today and for this weekend. Lots of fun events going on, so we'll be chatting about them throughout the morning, giving you your forecast. As you're heading out the door this morning, though, lots of 50s out there, 59 in Camp Mabry, 54 in ABIA. Dew point, they're still on the low side. I think that's going to be the big story, the fact that the humidity will be so low for the majority of the weekend. Right now, temperatures in the 40s throughout the hill country, 50s for the majority of us. Austin at 59. The north wind is still impacting us. Not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday was windy. We'll still have breezy conditions, but again, just not as strong as what we were battling yesterday. I'm going to break down the weekend forecast later this morning, so you're going to stick around. Yvonne, back to you.
I sure will. I'm obligated to, even though. Just kidding. 4:31 is your time. Oh, this is a really sad story. A family is safe this morning after this fire at a house. It spread to another home overnight. The fire started around midnight on Coyote Trail in Lago Vista. Officials say the fire started at a vacant mobile home before spreading to the home next door. Inside that house, a family of 6. A bystander saw the flames and knocked on the door of that house to let the family know about the fire. So everyone got out safely. Great news there. The cause of the fire, though, is under investigation, but neighbors say they frequently have problems with squatters in that vacant home. After years of promising to repeal the Affordable Care Act, House Republicans took a major step toward that goal yesterday, but as ABC's Kenneth Moten explains, there are major roadblocks ahead in the Senate, where the bill is expected to undergo significant changes.
This morning, President Trump's fight over health care now in the hands of the Senate. The president on a decommissioned battleship, the USS Intrepid in New York with Australia's prime minister.
Right now, Obamacare is failing.
The president made this stunning statement.
I shouldn't say this to our great gentleman and my friend from Australia, because you have better health care than we do.
Trump praised Australia's government-funded universal health care hours after celebrating the razor-thin passage of a bill in the House that would gut Obamacare.
We still have a lot of work to do to get this signed into law.
Senate Republicans already preparing to write their own bill, a version that could scare off House GOP moderates or hardliners.
Shame! Shame!
Who could face even more protests back home. The Affordable Care Act requires all Americans to have health insurance or pay a penalty. The GOP plan does not. Obamacare expanded Medicaid. The Republican bill would roll back the expansion. Estimates show millions at risk of not having insurance under the Republican bill. Coverage of pre-existing conditions weakened. By one estimate, 27% of Americans have one. Even higher in these southern states, all voted for President Trump. Defeated Democrats in the House promised to fight on.
They put their name next to you're paying more for less. And we'll make sure that the public is aware of that.
Senate Republicans are already sounding off on the House health care bill, saying the country should buckle up for an even longer process on their side. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Well, groups are pledging to fight an executive order President Trump signed yesterday, and here's what it does. First, it allows churches and other religious groups to support or oppose political candidates without risking their tax-exempt status. The order also aims to make it easier for employers with religious objections to not provide contraception coverage. One thing that's not included, though, in the order, relief for religious groups that don't want to serve or hire members of the LGBTQ community. Happening today, the University of Texas community will come together to honor fellow Longhorns they've lost over the past year, including the freshman who died in the UT stabbing attack earlier this week. School officials have confirmed that Harrison Brown will be honored in today's UT Remembers Memorial. The university-wide event will take place throughout the day, and it includes a flag-lowering ceremony, commemorative chiming of the bell tower, and the darkening of the tower. Grief counselors will also be available to students and staff who need someone to talk to in this time of remembrance. Lawmakers want less talk and more action when it comes to officer-involved shootings. The call to action in response to the death of 15-year-old Jordan Edwards. The freshman honor student and football player was shot and killed by a police officer last Sunday in Bulk Springs, a town east of Dallas. He was in a car driving away from a party when former officer Roy Oliver used a rifle to shoot into the car. But investigators say Oliver lied, saying he was coming towards him. After reviewing video from his body camera and a dash cam video, the chief of Bulk Springs PD fired Oliver. Now the Dallas County Sheriff's Office and DA are investigating, but lawmakers say that's simply not enough.
There's not a person in this room or the sound of my voice that would think that this would occur in an Anglo community. I'm not playing the race card, I'm playing the reality card.
With less than 4 weeks left in the legislative session, lawmakers say they want leadership to call for votes on bills that address criminal justice reforms. Austin police need your help finding a man who may be behind several apartment break-ins at the Domain area. Take a look here at your screen. Officers say this man appears to be targeting higher-end apartment communities, but it's not only families in that area who are at risk. Police say he might also be involved in recent thefts in the Lamar Union area. If you have any information, call police. You know that $720 million mobility bond Austin voters passed in November? Well, yesterday, City Council made some big decisions on what to do with some of the money. As KVUE's Amber Downing reports, the council decided how some of that mobility bond money will be spent and approved contributions to Capital Metro's plans for a new downtown Metro rail station.
Driving on 4th Street between Red River and Trinity Streets will soon be a thing of the past. In the next couple of years, it'll transform into the new downtown Metro rail station.
We currently have a very small station. It's a temporary station. It was always meant to be a temporary station.
The new station will have 3 tracks instead of 1 and have a pedestrian plaza.
In order to be able to do that, we need a bigger station that ensures the safety of passengers, but also allows passengers on our rail to connect to other modes of transportation.
Other modes like bikes, buses, rental cars, and hiking paths. City Council approved closing 2 blocks of East 4th Street and making 5th Street 2-way at Thursday's meeting.
So it sounds as if restrooms were included in the original design and Capital Metro cut them for financial reasons.
Mayor Pro Tem Kathy Tovo disappointed that the current plans don't include public restrooms. Cap Metro pledging to make them a priority.
We understand the importance of public restrooms at a rail station. We want to have that for our riders.
Council also decided where $39 million of the November $720 million transportation bond money will be spent. $9 million towards Spicewood Springs Road at 360, $12 million toward the corridor construction program, and $18 million towards sidewalks, bike paths, Vision Zero, and substandard streets. More construction ahead, hopefully, meaning less congestion in our future.
And that was Amber Downing reporting. A $50 million TxDOT grant will help pay for the downtown rail station, and we could see construction as soon as August. TxDOT is planning to clear up some confusion that has drivers heading to the airport worried about breaking the law. The problem is southbound on State Highway 130 toward ABIA to the Highway 71 toll road ramp. And here's why. The sign tells drivers the exit for the airport is 1 mile away, but legally, only the drivers in the right 2 lanes can use that exit. There are double white lines that keep drivers from crossing over into the right lane to exit, and TxDOT is working to fix that confusion. I can only imagine they will get rid of the double solid line and replace it with a solid dash combination line. This will let drivers know when it's safe, they can move into the toll lane. One of Austin's largest arts and crafts and music festivals kicks off this weekend, and Cap Metro wants to help festival goers get around the downtown area. The 2017 Spring Pecan Street Festival, it starts tomorrow, and Cap Metro will be extending hours for Metro Rail for people to use before and after the event. The train service will run on Saturday from 10 a.m. to midnight. If you can't take the rail, well, no worries, because you can also catch a ride using Metro Rapid or any of the local bus routes that serve downtown. The Metro Rail will be out of service on Sunday, just so you know. Well, here with the weather is Erica Lopez. Let's get a look.
Hey there, guys. Quiet weather in terms for the heart of the nation. That includes central Texas. It's east and west of us where things are kind of busy. Check out still some tornado watches in place for the Carolinas. Also severe thunderstorm warnings. Heavy rain for the Northeast. They're not going to expect much sunshine today. As for the next couple of days, we're under the ridge of a high pressure. That's going to give us plenty of sunshine. It's going to include your weekend forecast also. Today for Friday to kick off your weekend, clear skies. Temperatures are kind of cool this morning as you're heading out the door. We're in the 50s. We'll be warming up quickly this afternoon into the 80s by about lunchtime. Upper 70s, lower 80s is what you guys can expect for your temperatures, but daytime highs in the lower 80s today, 82 degrees for this afternoon. It's going to be cool and still a little bit breezy, not as windy as what we saw yesterday. Gusts topped out about 30 miles an hour yesterday. Tonight, 57 degrees, another cool and comfortable evening will be in store. I have your full weekend forecast. I'll be chatting about, breaking down the details on what you guys can expect, so stick around for that. We'll take a look at that in the full forecast. Yvonne, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. 4:41 is your time on this Friday. A popular brand of gin is being recalled because it has too much alcohol in it. Some bottles of Bombay Sapphire have almost double the alcohol content that's on the label. The problem happened during production when a batch of the gin was bottled before it was correctly diluted to 40% alcohol. Instead, it's 77%. The agency is investigating, which may lead to the recall of other products. There have been no reported illnesses associated with drinking this gin. Still ahead, a warning for truck companies. YTSA is asking them to be aware of potential danger.